Welcome to Fertility Friday. I'm your host, Meredith Allen, and I'm so excited because I have not one but two guests that you see with us this week. Today, Robin Newman and her guest, Rachel from South Africa, are with us talking about egg donation. Thank you so much, both of you, for being with us today.
Our pleasure, I'm sure.
Yes, it's fantastic.
It's not every day I get to have two beautiful ladies with me. So, Robin, tell me a little bit about your connection to Rachel and egg donation.
Yes. Well, I started Global Egg Donors, an international egg donor program, about 17 years ago. And Rachel has just donated her eggs at your clinic, Western Fertility, 4 days ago? 5 days ago?
5 days ago, yes.
Yeah, and she's not only produced 38 embryos the couple ended up with, way too many.
Wow.
But what's remarkable about that is Dr. Kumar is such a skilled surgeon. Even when a donor produces more eggs than anyone really needs, he has a way of making certain they recover faster than when they produce less eggs. And I know Rachel can vouch for that.
That was a very good recovery that I had this time around. It was
yes, you look wonderful and back in business and perfect working order. So that's great.
So she spent a couple days laying low afterwards, I hope.
Yes,
and now she and her brother are up in Santa Barbara visiting me for a few more days. And that's what makes this donor program the most special thing on earth to me. After all these years, it's the connection I get with the donors. I mean, the couples are fantastic, and I know the joy that they receive from these little bundles of babies that they end up with. But for me, it's spending time with the donors because they're so committed to what they're doing. They're doing it for all the right reasons. Rachel received a letter from her couple. They explained why they needed an egg donor, that they're Australian, is that correct? Right, and so it made them very real to her. She wasn't just donating at a clinic, and now she's going to learn if the embryos are a success, and she'll probably receive baby pictures over the years. So it's really making these human connections that endears this whole project to me. I'll never, ever retire.
Well, Rachel, your couple must be overjoyed for your recent donation. My question is, what made you decide to do this in the first place? It's so generous of you.
I had a discussion with my mother a few years ago regarding the topic. It was out of the blue. And it occurred to me that a lot of people aren't as blessed as everyone to actually have the ability to have their own children. And I've actually seen the difference that it makes in a family to actually have kids of your own. And that was my biggest motivation, is seeing the difference that it makes in the families.
Well, you've come all the way from South Africa. What's it been like seeing California? Was this your first time in Santa Barbara?
Yes, this is my first time in California. It's not as cold as I was expecting. Apparently it's winter here, but this is a sunny day for us, and it's great. I don't have to wear too much clothes, and it's very vacation-y. It's fantastic.
We love California too. And Robin, you bring in donors from all over the world, and that's what makes you global and very special, actually. I was curious if you had advice for anybody interested in donating. We'll first ask Rachel, what would you tell somebody who might be nervous? Because you've been through the process a few times.
Well, I think it's very important that you do very good research about the donor program. It's very important to know that you are the first priority of the company that you donate for. There are a few programs that don't really invest as much time into the donors, and you don't feel part of something. It kind of just feels like you go there, you donate, you get chucked to the side afterwards. So what makes Global Egg Donors so special to me is how they truly invest in who you are as a person and their donors in total.
That's a beautiful thing.
We hear that from so many egg donors because from the start to way after they're healed and home, we're checking in on them. We certainly don't expect them to donate maybe once a year. We don't encourage more than that. But what's really special is last month I had a donor who's donated, 5 times over the 10 years she was with us. And so now on her holidays, now that she's too old to donate, she still comes and visits me.
Oh, how nice.
I know. So I do invite donors. They just become family. It's many donors have told me it's like a sisterhood themselves and other donors. And next month in California, there's going to be 4 donors from 4 different countries in at once for donating to Western Fertility. So I've rented one house and we're all going to stay together.
Oh, how fun.
Out of that.
That's the beautiful thing about a global program, is that you have access to beautiful women all over the world, but that you have that opportunity to bring them here to California and enjoy. Of course, Western Fertility, if you work with us, is located just outside of Los Angeles. So it's a nice place to visit if you're going to make a trip.
One thing I wanted to add to that, I'm sure Rachel will verify it, is that after you check out the donor program that you may be signing up with, don't let them send you to any clinic. Do your business again and research this clinic. Try to get a reference from other egg donors who have donated there. See how they treat you. See how fast they recovered.
That's very important. I think a lot of, I think for me, it's more important to get a reference on the doctor as well, not only the clinic. Yeah. Some doctors really overstimulate and also you don't have that connection with the doctor. It's kind of just like you come in, you have a scan, you leave, and you get overstimulated and it just turns really bad.
Yeah. And at Western Fertility, there's only one doctor, Dr. Kumar. And even though you did produce more eggs than we wanted, this is the first time she's donated with Dr. Kumar. He goes in and he, with every donation, there's so many mature follicles, and then there's a whole bunch of immature ones. And most doctors just take out the mature follicles and the procedure's done. But Dr. Kumar takes the time to go in and deflate or pop all those immature follicles. So after the procedure, they don't have all this extra bloating that if he had left those immatures in there, all the fluids go in and really create a lot of discomfort. But Dr. Kumar makes certain, even if they do produce too many eggs, that they'll be as comfortable as possible afterwards.
Well, that's huge, because recovery is, we hope, quick and very good for you, and hopefully easier than you might have guessed. And along those lines, people wouldn't have stereotypes. They don't know a lot about the kind of people that go into egg donation. I just thought it'd be really cool to share. Rachel's highly educated and you're in school now. Could you tell me a little bit about your background?
I'm currently busy with my 4th year honorary degree in business management. So I went to one of the top universities in my country. I did my degree in a Bachelor's of Commerce, but in the law section. And then I decided to go back to the business section for honors. And then after that, I would really love to do my MBA as well.
Wow.
So yes, I think it's very important that most donors also have a great educational background. I think that motivates a lot of couples that would then choose you as a donor as well.
Yes, because Robin, I'd love for you to speak to that for a moment. What should people really consider when selecting an egg donor? We hear the debates all the time, but you work with this day in and day out, and you have a beautiful lady next to you, but she's also obviously very educated and intelligent.
Well, obviously looks are the first thing that will attract a person when choosing an egg donor, but that is only skin deep, as they say. And so intelligence is genetic. It plays a big factor in selecting your donor. And not everybody has access to great education, but there's many ways of determining if a person is intelligent. Of course, if they're able to go through university and prove themselves, that's fantastic.
Rough 4 years.
Yes, there are other ways. We have many donors who have started their own business. They didn't have the opportunity to go to university. There's many ways.
There are many, sure, and there's a perfect fit for everybody, or a preference of certain things over others. But bar none, intelligence and perhaps look, when you say people select for look, do they often look for people that look like themselves, or just they just might want somebody who's attractive? What is most common, Robin?
What's most common is definitely choosing a donor that looks like she is part of your genetic family.
Ah, I see.
So it's not that they're trying to keep a secret from other people. They usually will tell other people, but when you're walking down the street, it's nice for people to think of you as a natural family and not ask you, you know, whose kid that is.
Very good. Well, I always like to tease ahead. So if people watch this broadcast, we encourage you to share it if you've been thinking about egg donation. It's certainly a very high demand. And we really want to encourage people to, as you both said, do your homework, do the research. So if you two are amenable, I would encourage people to email us or message us if they see the video, and perhaps Robin or Rachel can answer honest questions privately, which is really nice to get some feedback. Would you ladies be okay with that?
I would be thrilled to do that. I would love to help people answer the questions or concerns that they have.
Yeah. And also in selecting donors, I always encourage couples, no matter which donor they're considering, let's have a Skype call. This donor is 7,000 miles away from you half the time, so let's see what she's like. You can judge for yourself what kind of heart she has if you feel she's intelligent. I think it's a wonderful way to introduce couples to their donor, because it's so hard to go and just look at a profile of these pictures and read the 3 or 4 pages of information.
It's a big decision, and it's such an honor to have your morning with me today and to be able to have this everlasting interview to educate others, inspire them, and hopefully quell some fears or concerns. And I'm going to round it out by saying thank you so much, because I know Rachel is booked again on another show coming up that you two will be on shortly, so I don't want to take too much time. But thank you both for joining us on Fertility Friday, and we will be sure to share the follow-up questions with you really soon. And thank you all at home for watching.